banter. Balls and banter. No excuses, just win, win, win with your balls and banter. We got balls, we got pucks, we got sticks, we got everything in between. We got balls and banter.
All right, folks, it's Thursday. Welcome to the program. Made it through another week. Hope you're having yourself a good day. We've got some fun news today. We got some fun stuff to talk about, some of it less fun, but we're going to have a good time nonetheless. Tom is, of course, with us as usual. Tommy boy, hope you're doing well. What are you wearing today? Show me. Show me right now. Yes, you little...
I'm doing well. I'm playing another road game, as you can see, but I am here.
You're always on the road. But
hey,
we've got...
Is this show going to be as much fun as the Pro Bowl?
I think that's a low bar. I think that's a low bar. It's going to be fun because we're bringing in one of my dear friends, Jeff Whitaker, former Florida Gators kicker. He loves the game of football. He loves all sports. He's a great dude. You guys are going to get to know him and love him. He's definitely got some opinions. So we're glad to bring Jeff in. This is him. We're going to be bringing in Courtney Moore in the days that come. He's actually here right now. We just can't see him. He's at the bar. But he'll be on the show as well as some other folks driving ahead. So some fun stuff to get in. Real quick, I want to start with this because this is an interesting story. Everyone familiar with Trinidad Chambliss, handsome devil, just a great kid, had a great year. He, like so many others, is trying to play college football forever. And it looks like after his second appeal, he's going to be going to court now because it was denied again. And this is interesting because there's a weird distinction, and I want to get you guys' take on it because what Joey Aguilar is doing at Tennessee is he's gone this same route. You had the kid, what's his name, Bediako, the Alabama basketball player. They, instead of suing the federal courts, instead of going some of the traditional routes, they're going through the state courts, and they're getting these temporary restraining orders, which I don't understand the legal stuff. That doesn't sound right to me. Restraining order, I think of like some of the ones that I've had. Just kidding, haven't had them yet. We'll see where things go. But they're going this state direction, and it seems to be working for them. And they're kind of optimistic that maybe they're going to do it, and possibly Trinidad gets some more time. Possibly he doesn't. Possibly Joey's thing sticks. I think he got a 15-day temporary restraining order where he can stay and do team activities with Tennessee. What do you guys think of this? I'll start with you, Jeff.
It just seems like ever since COVID, you have seen the whole script get flipped from the coaches having the power and the institution having the power to the players have had the power.
Yeah.
And I'm not totally against it. I think a lot of fans, even guys our age, are like, this is not the college football we grew up with. Well, college football we grew up with had coaches making $8 million a year and players getting free math books.
Right.
And training table. So there's a happy medium there somewhere. But I think as long as you have an opportunity to go and make a living, I think courts are going to continue to side with the players as opposed to the NCAA, which lost all credibility.
They've lost all credibility. And you're right. Like it's a totally different game. It's a totally different world now. The kids should get paid. The amount of work that gets put into all of this is insane. But Tom, I know you're not a big fan of the NCAA. I think they're a useless organization. I think that they should probably go away. I mean, I read an article this morning. We're not bringing it up today. We don't have time. But it was basically saying what we say all the time. When someone brings up something and these charges, or not charges because the NCAA, they can't charge you. They can't do shit. But like when the NCAA says we're investigating you and they're going to do this, this article is basically what we've always talked about. Like, so just don't listen. Just drive ahead because they've lost so much credibility and so much power. And then when you have these courts that are siding with the kids, the whole thing has just been flipped on its head. But I'll shut up and let you talk.
Well, I think well, first of all, the NCAA to me is the UN of a sports governing body. They're right up there with FIFA and the Olympic Committee as far as being useless. But what's happening here, I think, is genius. What I see happening are all the agents who are representing the athletes are pleading their cases in front of state court, which means with my law degree from the University of Google, it seems like when you put something in front of a state court or any sort of local court, it's going to get ruled on quickly.
Right.
And then if it's going to be challenged, it's going to go up to the next level. So they're definitely playing lawfare with this. And I think ultimately what's going to happen is it's going to be death by 1,000 cuts for the NCAA, because if you get Chambliss and Aguilar keep going this route, eventually the NCAA is going to run out of money, or not run out of money, but it's going to hurt them in the pocketbook, and they're going to have to figure out, okay, well, we've been pretty much neutered, so what can we grasp onto? And I think it's just laying the table for something else to govern college football other than the NCAA. Is it the conferences? I don't know. It seems to be pointing in that direction as far as what I can see, but I can't foresee the NCAA being the governing body over college football.
First of all, I'd like to just say we would love here at Red Beach Studios to be that governing body and manage everything. I think that we've got the expertise. I know Jeff has got some ideas. Like, we've got other people that you don't see on camera that are going to be here. We've got this. Like, just let us say, if Nick Saban's not going to do it, and I don't think Miss Terry's going to let him, we're happy to step in. But do you think the NCAA has become pretty irrelevant at this point for college football?
Are they even involved anymore?
I mean, I don't know.
When's the last time you heard, I think, 10, 20, 30 years ago, every week there was, these kids are being, he's suspended for academic, he's in trouble with academics, right? You don't hear it anymore. They've literally been castrated. They can do nothing.
Yeah.
Ever since the Supreme Court ruling a few years ago, right? So,
right.
And I think they're just scared out of their minds to do anything to hold anybody accountable for fear of being sued, which they are being sued. I heard that the NC State Wolfpack team from 1983, the buzzer beater, they're looking to sue and to get some NIL money now because of all the way they've been using them and their likeness over the years. So, where does that stop?
Now we've got NCAA reparations coming. This is it's a new phase. It's a whole new world, folks. It's a whole new freaking world. I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, I think that Sankey and Petiti run the whole thing, like the SEC and Big Ten commissioner. Not to say that the ACC and Big 12, sorry if that hurt your feelings, but like the Power Four folks and certainly the SEC and Big Ten drive things. Speaking of that, that's a good segue. We're just going to ride it. We're going to go with things here because there's this debate going on. We talked about it last week, whenever that was. SEC, Big Ten battling over 16 or 24 team playoffs. No consensus found. So what happens is now for 26 and 27, at least as far as we know now, you've got these playoffs that are going to stay the same. They're going to stay 12 teams. And these new dates are kind of wild. So I'm a proponent. Everyone's going to have different opinions on this. It's the college football playoff, how it should be done, how bowls should be done, yada, yada, yada. I kind of like what Josh Pate put out the other day, a couple weeks ago, whenever that was, moving the start of the season back 1 week, trying to get this stuff sped through. But as it turns out now, we're not speeding through. We're going the opposite direction. So Josh Pate probably not too thrilled right now. But it's I think 38 days between when the first round is played and the championship. Huge window, and it pushes way out. Here are the new dates. The new dates, this does not show the first round or the championship. So in 2026 and 2027, on the 30th, you've got the Fiesta Bowl, the first quarterfinal, and then on the first, you've got the Cotton Bowl, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, and the Rose Bowl, the other quarterfinals. The semifinals then are the 14th and the 15th, which is after when the championship was this year, correct? I think. And then you've got whatever window it's going to be. It's not going to be 7 days, 10 days, 14 days, and then that's going to be the final. This seems like we're really stretching things out. Now, silver lining is we're in this dark, like I've been wearing black ever since college football ended. I'll continue to do it. I'm thinking of getting a veil, maybe a tramp stamp. I don't know how those connect.
But get a football helmet with a veil.
Yes. That's a great chance. It's like, I'm not open for business. I'm in sorrow. I'm in sorrow mode here.
And bring in some Haitian wailers. The old Haitian ladies that show up at funerals that throw themselves on the casket. Start the show with these women wailing and throwing themselves on the Michigan football helmet.
It's tracking now. Wailers, criers.
Yep.
Yes. I'm slow. It's fine. But the one part of me is like, okay, we get more football for a little bit longer, but I don't know if it's the most efficient way to do it. Maybe it is. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
They're competing with the NFL.
Yeah.
So they know that they're not going to win if they try to put these games against an NFL game, or the networks don't want to cannibalize their viewership.
Yeah.
Now, college football is the number 2 viewed sport in America today, right? So behind the NFL, which is the big giant. So they're trying to maximize ratings, billions and billions of dollars. Can't say I blame them. Would I like to see it end on the 1st of January with all these games being on Saturdays? Yeah, that's what I like to see.
Yeah.
But I'm going to watch.
Hell yeah. I'm going to watch too. That's the thing. Like, we can judge this all we want, but like, I'm totally going to watch as well. Like, whatever, like college football is, you can say it's broken. It's the Wild West right now. All those things are true. The product in the field is about as good as it's ever been. And if they do this whole thing in 4 weeks, or they do it over the course of this damn thing runs to April, I'm still going to sit my ass down on the couch and watch it. Is it the right thing, the wrong thing? Don't know, TBD. But I think, we'll see. I mean, I think it would be better if it ended that way. But you're right. They compete with the NFL. There's a lot of other factors here. And the reality is in terms of the money part of this, we have these ideas about what would work best from, dating back to yesteryear to now. And I have a feeling that we, the fans and alumnus and whatnot, are going to frequently lose this conversation, because this is a money game. Like, for the longest time, we couldn't get to a playoff because of the bowls, because it was a money thing. Now this is like, oh, we're making so much more money. I think we struggle to get past that. Tom?
I think we do, and I'm going to put on my producer hat and also my promoter hat. I see where they're going with this, and I'm looking down the road to the future, because yes, expand it out. If I'm a promoter, if I'm the CEO of a network or a digital platform, I want as many games as possible over a prolonged period of time, because not only does that shift all the focus to the days that the games are actually being played, but it's also all that content generation leading up to those games. So you have to take that into account as well, as far as how much content can be produced and what over what platforms it's being put on.
Yeah.
Looking further down to the future, and Drew always hates this when I say it, but sports are not for peasants. Highlights are for peasants. And that's to quote Adam Silver. He didn't say peasants. He just said, well, there are highlights that people can watch if they can't afford it. I see this going down the route of the WWE, and each one of these games becoming its own pay-per-view event.
Yeah, I mean, the price, I mean, I tell you this, I couldn't have afforded to go to the College Football National Championship. I do pretty darn well. I don't do great because I used to work in conservative media. So, obviously I've got that going against me. But those prices were insane. Like, you look at concert prices now. The cost of all this stuff has gotten just astronomical. It's bananas.
It's out of control. We were looking at the Indiana and Miami game. It was $4,000 to get in the building.
Yeah. Terrible seat.
The top of the building. And we were looking at Ticketmaster in the first quarter of the game. You still couldn't get in for less than $3,000.
That's wild.
So that's where it's going. Like, I think that's a great point he put up. Everything's going to be pay-per-view, just like when everybody disconnected from cable and just got Netflix and an antenna. Well, now everything's a la carte. Same thing with sports.
Yeah.
I want to watch the Jags. Well, it's going to be $9.99 this Sunday to watch that game. So,
right. Enjoy. Yeah, plus your food costs, plus all of that.
Yeah.
It's just everything's changing so fast. It shows that we're all getting older, because you get the curmudgeon part that comes in. It's like, it's too much change, it's too fast, it's too soon. I feel like the Grinch with everything changing for him. Tom, did you have something you were going to say there?
No, I did have one thought, and I didn't ask this at the top of the show, but Jeff, I have a question for you. How important is the long snapper into the success of a kicker or a punter?
Vital. Absolutely essential. We had when I was at the University of Florida, our long snapper, Casey Griffith, nicknamed the long snapper of doom, wore number 69. He was a sixth-year senior and member of the Kappa Alpha Order on the University of Florida campus. Had a mullet, probably about 35% body fat, but he got that thing perfectly back every single time. I could catch it with my eyes closed. So the long snapper, don't sleep on the long snapper, man. That's very, very important.
Yeah, because Jeff not just was a kicker, Jeff was also a holder.
Yeah, man. Tore my groin, and then I was like, well, the leg doesn't work anymore. I got to figure out something to do. I'm in the SEC. I'm 5'10", 190 pounds, and not fast enough to play anything important. So, the holder is right up, right above like the guy who scrubs the toilets at night. Long snapper is very important. Holder is just a guy who just gets a free T-shirt.
Anyone can hold the ball.
It is an important spot.
Yeah. But that long snapper is essential, man.
Yeah, the long snapper is like this weird sort of ghost of an entity. Yeah. Nobody knows who the long snapper is. He's kind of like the Lone Ranger or the Shadow. No one knows who the Shadow is, because every time that if there's a missed field goal, it was like, oh, the holder had problems bringing down the high snap, and it's never, hey, Jim Carruthers, with the long snapper had a high snap. It's the blame is always shifted, or the focus is always shifted on another player that's more identifiable. That's why I think the long snapper is one of the best positions on a football field.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, it's the way to go if you want a healthy, longer career. You learn to long snap. Everyone wants to play quarterback. Everyone wants to play receiver. Everyone wants to play, DB. And it's like, no, dude. Like, learn how to long snap. I've told this story before. In the 5 minutes that I played at Michigan before getting hurt and having my football career and most of my life ruined, our long snapper got hurt. And Lloyd Carr comes out and is like, okay, this is like I think it was the first practice in training camp in 99. Everyone line up, like across from each other, the whole team. How we didn't have a second one is a whole different question, because we didn't. But everyone lined up and was trying to do it. I'm like, oh man, this is an opportunity. Like, I'm not playing this year. Like, you don't play linebacker as a freshman at Michigan, at least not looking the way I do. But or did, this young white dude, true walk-on, he was not a PWO, he wasn't a Scully player, beats everybody out. True freshman is getting to snap for that. It's like, damn it. Like, and then those guys, he didn't go on to play in the pros, but those guys, there's a local guy here that we know who had a long career. Zelenka, long snapping, does really well. Awesome pastor now, spreading the gospel, doing awesome things beyond his career in football. But that's the way to do it. Like, if you're a young girl, play golf, get a free ride to college. If you're a dude who likes football, swallow your pride and be a long snapper.
I'm going to start lobbying the Football Hall of Fame right now to get a long snapper in.
Well, you can't get Bill Belichick in. Good luck with a long snapper.
Might get Vinatieri this year.
Hell of a kicker.
He's got to go in.
He's absolutely got to go
Just
in.
for the snow kick. He's got to be in.
I think I was in New York. I won't say the name of the person, but I was in New York with a person as well. It's kind of gone sideways on us. But I was in New York watching that at, I think ESPN back then had a sports bar. Maybe it wasn't. At any rate, I'll always remember that. That dude was a beast. He deserves to go in 100%.
Jeff, one more. I'm sorry. I got one more question, Jeff.
Hit me, Tom.
Yeah,
I need to. I need to hear from a professional on this. What happened to the barefooted kicker, and why don't we see barefooted kickers anymore?
That's a great question. Have you ever kicked barefoot?
I have.
Yeah. So I think that back when you had barefoot kickers, they were competing for jobs against guys with clown shoes kicking with their toes, right? And so it wasn't very hard to beat out the toe poker, right? The best kicker in the NFL in the 70s had half of a foot, right? So today you got guys one-stepping it from 70 yards out. Hell, Cam Little could hit it from here to freaking Nassau County.
He could.
So the evolution of the game has gone to a point where the video of the dude for the Broncos, who was that, Carlos? Who was the kicker for the Broncos? Who was hitting the ball in the snow barefooted? If you were there, he probably was sneaking it over the bar from 40 yards, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the guys back in the day could hit a driver 230. How far are they hitting the driver these days? The game has evolved, but those guys who were hitting it barefooted, it's like my kids will watch that and go, Dad, why is he not wearing a shoe? It doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like we used to have these things on the wall. They were called phones and landlines,
yes.
son. Yesterday.
Oh, I have a meme about that.
A lot has changed. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we've got some memes to get to. Speaking of which, we got to speed along. This next story, this kind of ties into how things have changed in college football. We saw how much Texas has spent, Michigan, all these schools have spent a ton of money on program. SMU spent a ton. Texas Tech blew it out of the water and was like, we'll take some of that oil money. this past year. There's a possibility that something else is going to happen this year. I don't think it's going to. I'll believe it when I see it. But it definitely falls into that shit's crazy story.
Sometimes the world gives us run-of-the-mill stories, and you're like, yeah, I heard that. We got politics, the international news, stories about your grandma's peach cobbler, but then sometimes stories are a little bit out there, like this one. This shit's crazy.
All right, so who's familiar with the YouTube influencer personality, MrBeast?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's obviously done pretty well for himself. He's got
For a high school dropout, he's doing amazing.
Just a reminder, kids who are listening, I hope you're doing it with your parents too. A lot of these really successful people don't finish college and high school. I'll let you guys talk about that later, though. But he has come out. He's an ECU guy. I guess he's an alum or just a super fan, whatever. I don't know.
No, he didn't go to college.
Oh, that's right. He didn't go to college.
He lives in Greenville.
He lives in Greenville. So I guess that's the piece that makes. Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. Because otherwise, it's like, well, hold on. You chose the East Carolina Pirates to be your team of choice.
It's just his hometown. That's all it is.
His hometown.
Yeah.
So he's tossed out the possibility. You can see it on your screen. YouTube star MrBeast hinted at spending $100 million on ECU to try and help them win a national championship. This would have sounded crazy a few years ago. Sure would have. But may not be out of the question now. MrBeast lives in Greenville, which is also where ECU is located. And then they just pose the question, would you want to see him do this, or would it be harmful to the sport? First of all, there's no harming the sport at this point. Everything has changed. But that's I think Texas is planning to spend $40 million on their roster this year. That's not that he would spend all of that in roster. Some of that might be facilities, some of it might be whatever. But that's 2.5 times what the University of Texas would do. Now, do I think he's going to do this? I don't know. I don't know the guy from Adam.
He makes enough money to do it.
He makes enough money to do it. He's got screw you money. You know, he's got Larry. He doesn't have Larry Ellison money, but he could be a Larry Ellison like he is for Michigan. And thank you, Larry, again for your girlfriend or your wife, whoever she is. We love her. She's a beautiful person with lots of money, thanks to you. But this is the world we live in now. Anyone there used to be no parity. You knew who the final 4 teams in the CFP were going to be. You knew who was going to play in this bowl game and that bowl game for the most part. Now it's like, okay, I see you, Texas Tech. I see you, SMU. Could we see, maybe it's not MrBeast doing this. Do we see this, Jeff? Like ECU comes in or someone like ECU and all of a sudden they're relevant? Because they're really not relevant now.
I think this makes perfect sense because not only does he have the money, he doesn't have the money that Mark Cuban has, but what he has is an audience.
Yeah.
And if you ask and poll these 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds, the number one thing they say they're looking for is money. The second thing is I want a following, I want an audience. They all want to be influencers.
That's true.
So if this guy who has how many millions and millions of followers on YouTube, if he creates his own behind-the-scenes Hard Knocks version of ECU football and he pitches that to recruits and says, not only are you going to get the top dollar in NIL, we're going to give you a piece of all the streams and we're going to let you advertise yourself in front of hundreds of millions of people. Now you become not only rich, but you can become famous.
Yeah.
And that's going to become a destination. Have you ever been to Greenville for a football game?
I've never been to their game.
It's a perfect combination of what you wanted in a college football atmosphere when you were 21 years old. Let's put it that way. It doesn't have the most beautiful stadium, but man, it's electric. And when it was popping with old Jeffrey Blake and Dave Garrard and Chris Johnson and the Pirates, that place is awesome. And I think it's definitely a perennial contender for #1 party school in the country.
Absolutely. It does have that energy.
I think it'd be huge.
Tom, you produce it. You help MrBeast produce it.
I'm going to stay as far away from MrBeast as humanly possible because
Tom doesn't like MrBeast.
No, there's something about he and his whole organization and plus his name that sort of turns me off. But and then also
right,
just sort of looking at him, he looks like a weird sort of like cruise ship magician who who hot bunks with some Filipino guy, and he's got that weird vibe to him. But first of all, I love Greenville, South Carolina, one of my most favorite cities in the entire world. I've spent a lot of time there. I love it there. East Carolina, to me, has one of the greatest logos with that Buccaneer or pirate that they have.
They're just to be clear, they're South Carolina. They're not North Carolina. They're North Carolina, not South. Furman's in Greenville, South Carolina.
Right.
Same thing.
Okay.
Same thing.
For legal. Sorry.
There you go.
For legal purposes.
Yeah, for legal.
Yes. Their uniforms are spectacular. The color combination is great. I love all of that. But Jeff brings up a good point, talking about the hard knocks for the school. And this is where I kind of, it's a bit troublesome to me, because we're seeing it just about in every avenue of life, in every sort of career, where everything is getting narrowed. Where you have, Peyton Manning and his company producing sports documentaries.
Praise Jesus, because they're killing it.
Right. They are killing it. But what they're doing is they're putting out other organizations, other production companies that are in that same lane, but they just happen to have a name to go with it. So this all started when Hillary Clinton signed her deal with Apple TV, and you saw sort of the rise of the celebrity or the influencer into the entertainment business. And you've got that with LeBron James and his production company. So what we're seeing in the big picture of things is everybody who has any sort of a platform or any sort of celebrity or money is cashing in on that by diversifying what they do. And that's great, being a capitalist. But what it also does, it shrinks down the talent pool that you have when it comes to being able to produce certain things. And what's going to happen in the end is you're going to have a bunch of production companies that are all run by people, either former politicians or former athletes. So you see it all over the podcast. One of the funniest things and one of the worst things that's happened to sports podcasting is when you get ex-athletes that have their own podcast. Shannon Sharp, for my money, is the one who's actually doing it right and is really good. But you look at like all the smoke, those guys just look like a bunch of clowns, but they're still getting the eyeballs on it. So in the grand scheme of pop culture and everything, I think it's, MrBeast, being able to put that kind of money in and then to be able to spin off different, content producing streams. I think it's already having a detrimental effect, and I think it's going to add to that detrimental effect of just closing down the ranks in every industry.
That might be true, but the football component of it is still like you drop that kind of money, and all of a sudden, the tailgates get louder in East Carolina, is relevant, and they're in the top 25 and they're competing. Like that's what's so crazy about this new era, is everything can change. Like, we're going to talk Pac-12 in a second here after a quick break, but like the Pac-12 doesn't look great on paper. Obviously last year, the last two teams, like it was it was not even a conference. Now you're splitting up the Mountain West, and landing the net result is you've got a new Mountain West and a new Pac-12, and you look at it, it's like, well, I don't know how good this looks, and it really doesn't look that good. But then you think of stories like this, and it's like, unless something crazy happens. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about that. We still have some memes to get into. We've got plenty to get to. We're just going to take a quick break. Stay with us. Make sure you hit that like button. We'll see you on the other side.
Are you sick of staring down food that you want to eat, knowing deep down you shouldn't? Or how about being sick of your neighbor Gary, looking fit and trim as he waves to you at the fence line? There's a better way to live, and it takes only a minimal amount of discipline. Introducing No Fuss to Give. No Fuss to Give does not actually alter any hormones or chemical balances in your body. No. This little pill just gives you the courage to let loose and let live. So drop the worries of health and social judgment. Undo your belt and live a little with No Fuss to Give. 97% of participants in a No Fuss to Give trial gained significant weight and added serious health complications to their lives. However, other data suggests they felt great about drowning their sorrows in highly saturated fat. fats, decadent desserts, and gluten and dairy rage sessions. This product is not approved by the FDA or any medical body. No fuss to give cannot guarantee success or a long, sustaining life for those who take it. But there's a chance it may work about as well as any other bullshit pharmaceutical product you see on your screen. So give it a try and give us your cash. No fuss to give. No fuss to give. Bullshit pharmaceutical products.
All right, so I mentioned it before. Let's talk Pac-12 and Mountain West for a minute, because these are the kind of things, like I've got a serious problem. I've got lots. You guys all know me really well. I have lots of therapists, but I wake up in the middle of the night and I roll around like, okay, what are we going to do about the college football playoff? That's where my head goes. First I'll try and pray my way through it and just be like, what's going on here? Can I go back to sleep? But then it's like, all right, well, let's try and tackle some big issues. I think of that, and I've been thinking lately in the middle of the night, what's going to come of the Pac-12? You're like, that's a weird thought. It is. I'm a weird person. But like, okay, the Pac-12 gets decimated. You've got the better top-end teams that go to the Big Ten a couple years ago. And that's kind of where things were going. The SEC, Big Ten, both growing. You've, of course, because it makes total sense, you've got Cal and Stanford in the ACC, in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And then some teams went to the Big 12. But so you had Washington State, Oregon State, and then you had a pretty good Group of 5 conference in the Mountain West. Like it's a pretty solid Group of 5 conference. Obviously, Boise State's done most of the heavy lifting there, but like this is how things looked this past year. Okay, so you've got your two teams over there, and then you got Air Force, Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State. All four of those top teams. Decent teams. We keep that up. And then Hawaii, New Mexico, Nevada, which is a little hard to see, San Diego State, San Jose State, UNLV, who's doing some interesting things under Mullen right now, Utah State, and Wyoming. That's been traditionally the Mountain West. Now people want to get the Pac-12 back to being their hope, of course, is to be a Power 4, what used to be a Power 5 conference again. We're not there yet, folks, but that's their hope. So now this is what it's going to look like. And you've got Boise, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, and Utah State joining Oregon State and Washington State, plus Texas State is joining them. So that's what the Pac-12 looks like. Can we go full screen on that, David? And then Mountain West will keep Air Force, Hawaii, New Mexico, Nevada, San Jose State, UNLV, Wyoming. They will add Northern Illinois and UTEP. So everyone wants to get relevant. Everyone wants to get to the point where they're like, hey, we can compete. We can be a respected Group of 5 conference that has a shot at making the college football playoff. And or more importantly for the Pac-12, we want to get back to being a power conference. To me, you look at this and you see how those two conferences look when you shake them out. And what we've just taken, because the Pac-12 essentially wasn't a conference before, recently with just the two teams. I mean, literally, when you're guaranteed a spot, if you're doing it that way in the conference championship, that's not how they do it. But like, if because you're by default the number 2 team in the conference, you don't have a conference. But they want to get back to this. So now you're taking all these teams from a Group of 5, granted a good Group of 5 conference, and you're working them into the Pac-12. You just have 2 Group of 5 conferences. That's the net result, right? Am I crazy? Am I seeing this wrong?
If you're Cal and Stanford, don't you want a mulligan and say, hey, can we just go back to the Pac-12, right? But I mean, because what an awful mistake, especially after you see how underwater these college football programs are. Florida State.
Yes.
But this just looks like 6 one way, half dozen the other, doesn't it? I find it ironic that all 9 of the schools in the Pac-12 all have state at the end of their name, all of them, or all 8 of the schools. But they look like you could just trade back and forth. There's no difference there.
No, like to me, if you want to be the Pac-12 and you want to be relevant again, you take the best. Sure, you get Cal and Stanford back, who probably do want a mulligan, because who knows where the ACC is going in the first place. And I'm not necessarily cheering for one thing, at least not for the sake of this conversation. But then you look at this, and it's like, okay, take some of the good. You probably do take Boise State. maybe you take Fresno State. It's just
Is Marshall Faulk coming with San Diego State?
Right,
You know,
like-
are we getting
like when have the Aztecs been relevant? Like
Marshall Faulk? That was
yeah,
it.
that was it.
Yes.
You know,
Texas State going like this, but not like Pac-12 like this.
I couldn't tell you where is that the Armadillos?
No,
Is
they're
Sinbad
the
and
Bobcat. No,
is Kathy Ireland kicking for them?
that's amazing.
Who's
Yes.
Texas State?
They're I think they're in the Conference USA now.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
Making the big leap up. UTEP making the leap to the Mountain West from Conference USA. Kind of a lateral move. It's a better move. That's a better conference. But yeah, I just don't see it. I to me it's like Pac-12. You've got to lure some of the schools that went to the Big 12 back. You've got to get the two ACC schools that are just straight up bananas, that Stanford and Cal are in the ACC. Like, it makes zero sense. And even they would tell you that. And even the ACC are like, we don't know like what we're doing. Like, they're here. But like, I think that you've got to do that. And then you grab a couple of these others. But the net result of this is like, you guys are in the exact same position. Unless the only wild card is some oil person puts $100 million into Texas State, who apparently became a school in the last couple days. You know, Boise gets rid of their blue field and gets more money. You know, like the only way you do that is like if it gets just, and that's a long process too. Like, you don't change, even with money, you don't change a program overnight. I mean, you can do it some, but like Texas Tech had a good base. And then they got a crap ton of cash poured on top of that.
I mean, Indiana did.
Indiana
ruined the whole thing for everybody.
They did. That's true. That's actually a great point.
Yes.
Like, they changed the whole thing.
I don't think they've done anything near the stadium. They didn't go get a bunch of 5-stars. They just brought in the right guy. They had a little bit of money.
Yeah.
They figured out the formula, and now I think you're going to start to see that more often. I think.
Yeah, I think so too. But can you do it for can a couple if you do it for, I don't know, what is it, 2, 3, 4 teams? Does that lift the Pac-12 back to relevance? And that's the question. I just don't know how you get there. I'm not saying they can never get there. I just don't know how you get there in the near term. To me, the path they've taken, which is the screen that you had up a little bit ago, I just don't think that's it. It's like you just made 2 crappy conferences instead of one.
I think
you know what?
Go ahead, Tom.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeff.
I just think, like I told you in the break, it's too expensive to be an NFL owner or a professional sports owner. I think you have a lot of really wealthy people who can't get in that space, who can be kind of like an owner of a college sports team by coming in and being the number one donor.
Yeah.
Whether you're Mark Cuban at Indiana or you're a wealthy alum of the University of Wyoming, and you want Laramie to be the, spotlighted, right?
Right.
I think that's what you're going to start to see is these de facto owners of college football programs who can come in with their funny money and do it when they can't afford. I can't afford an NFL team, but I can sure as heck come in and put a bunch of money at ECU, and we can party in Greenville.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're the Jerry Jones in Laramie, Wyoming, or you're freaking. I run the San Jose State Spartans now. Okay, I mean this is the world we live in. I mean, someone was talking the other day. Obviously, Indiana shook everything up, but PJ Fleck has done some interesting things. I hate the row the boat thing. My oldest brother, who will be on the show at some point too, played there. He loves him. He's a great culture guy. But there's a lot of people who are like, Minnesota's got these great facilities now. They could be the next Indiana. It's like, well, yeah, this is just an article and someone talking on a podcast where it's like, they totally could. And there's good history there, but so could anyone. Like literally, like Florida International,
Pitbull Stadium.
Pitbull Stadium. Like they could be the next thing. Like that sounds crazy, but like anything's fair game now.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to get back to what you were saying at the beginning of this, Drew, when you said sometimes you lay awake at night trying to imagine realigning the Pac-12, which I'm grateful that you said that, and that's what you think about, instead of, say, if you would have said, I'm wondering if law enforcement is going to find the dead hooker that I buried by the side of the road in a shallow grave.
Yes,
so
thankfully
that doesn't keep you up at night.
Yes.
Watching.
I'm in a different category.
That wouldn't keep him up at night, though. That's the thing.
I've hurt lots of people. I've never hurt a hooker, nor have I been with a hooker, just to be clear for everyone's references. Yes, I don't think about any of that stuff. And all the other people were bad, and they were overseas. Like, you're glad they're gone. You're welcome, America.
Right. So...
Is that your final? Is that it?
No, that was the beginning of my thought. The second
sorry.
part of my thought was looking at this realignment. And David, if you could put that graphic up again. And I go back to some of these games, like watching a Hawaii game at midnight, 1:00 in the morning, is a bit fun if you've had a couple of drinks or whatever. But in actuality, other than, Boise State and maybe was it Oregon State or I guess Eastern Washington.
No, not Washington State.
Washington State, yeah. They don't really matter, and it's like looking at this is like, asking me if, how I feel about the realignment in minor league baseball. It's all kind of, I just don't see any of these teams rising to the occasion like an Indiana did or rising up like Indiana did. I know it's possible, but I feel like Indiana is sort of an outlier in this because, Jeff is right. They had the right coach at the right time with the right players and just, the proper, infusion of money to get them to where they are and what they accomplished. But these other teams, I don't see it at all.
So here's a question. Let's throw that graphic up one last time, then we're going to move on from this. Who's the team, in terms of institutional history, tradition, and/or the city, the money, whatever, that is the most likely of these teams? There's 9 over there. There's 8 of these 17 teams. It could be any one of them. Who's the team that you think could garner the money and the attention to be the next Indiana? And maybe they don't win it. Maybe let's lower the bar a smidge. Who's the next Texas Tech out of these 17 teams?
UNLV.
I think it is too. I think it's 100%. Dan Mullen, you're in Vegas. You've got an attractive place.
Kids will want to go there. You got a good recruiting base from Southern California.
Yeah.
You got no shortage of people with money. I think UNLV is there for the taking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom, do you have a different response, or do you?
I kind of, yes, I could see that, but yeah, you're right. You need like a Dana White or, somebody involved in the casinos to be able to throw in money and
Wayne Newton. Wayne Newton will do it.
Wayne.
Yeah.
I mean, they can bring back Grandmama and Stacey Ogman.
Yes.
I think Coach Tark's no longer with us, but, the Runnin' Rebs, there's a history there in the national brand that people remember. I think that the outside of maybe Boise State with being kind of cute.
Right.
There's really no other, Wazoo having the flag at college game day every Saturday.
That's
but who else has national cachet? I think UNLV's right there, and Dan Mullen, he's a hell of a coach, he's got no pressure there. He can go 10-2, 9-3. Nobody gives a rip.
Yeah.
He's not going to get run out of like he was in Gainesville.
Right.
So I think UNLV's a no-brainer. You have to have the money.
Does Gainesville regret running him out with what followed?
I think that both things can be true. Right?
I absolutely.
I think that there's regret and remorse because you went and got Sunbelt Billy, and that didn't work out so well, even though he's a really good guy. But there's no doubt Dan Mullen's an outstanding X's and O's coach, but his give a damn on recruiting had kind of been busted, as Coach Spurrier said back in the day.
Yeah.
But man, that was fun watching. They just, I think they pulled the trigger a little too early on that one.
Yeah, I think so too. Because he is a hell of a coach. Now, the standards at Florida are high, or they still are high. They were obviously higher then. Hopefully, John Summerall does well for you guys. By the way, we're getting a Gators helmet that's going to be there for you. Just not in
right.
So there's going to be all sorts of accoutrements back there, Jeff. And then whoever's on that day, they just go up onto the desk.
Jeff, my son's going to be a Gator coming up in the fall, so I'm in the market for a Gator-themed golf cart.
Well, I know a person who owns a great golf cart company. Your son or daughter, your kid must be a wizard. It's very difficult to get into that school.
He's a sharp kid.
He must be a sharp kid. It's Ivy League caliber these days.
Yeah,
very difficult.
I don't think I could get into any college these days.
You couldn't read. I don't know how you got it through bowls.
I didn't.
You played ball.
You were on the Corky Rogers scholarship back in the day.
He just helped me through. God rest in peace, brother. I don't know. I look at my son now. It's like how I don't even know where he came from. And he's driving now. You've dealt with this. Just quick side point, and then we're going into a totally different side point. You guys can see there's meat on the screen, but which of course makes total sense. My son started driving. And he should have had his license a while ago. We're too busy, and he wasn't rushing. He just drove off yesterday. He just drove off and did something. They drove to workouts this morning. How did you deal with this? This is crazy. He left. I'm like, well, I'm pouring a drink. Like, this is terrifying.
For me, it was fantastic because my daughter, when she turned 16, was in the middle of ACL rehab, and she was rehabbing 45 minutes away, so she could now drive.
That's true.
So we said, and she was a pretty way more responsible 16-year-old than I was. So it got us off the hook from having to drive out over the Buckman Bridge to Fleming Island for therapy every day. But yeah, it made me feel old. We're no longer, we got these little babies have grown all up, man.
They have. And that's true. Like, I'm thinking of summer workouts in the morning. It's like, all right, well, that's good. Like, that's going to be, it's just the first time it's like, well, this is going to be the last time I see him. Okay, we've talked sports. Let's take a quick break. We're going to finish on sports and memes, but let's just take a quick break and let's talk meat real quick.
Meat, just meat, just meat, just meat, yeah.
I keep seeing this picture. You guys have probably seen it too if you're on Twitter, if you doom scroll like anyone else does. And it just pisses me off so much. Do you have the picture?
It wasn't in the list of. I'm looking at it now. It wasn't in the list of assets. So give me a second.
It kind of kills the meat thing.
I'm getting it. I see it now.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh God. Give me a second, gentlemen.
So I'll tease this too, because I mean you guys know where I stand on this. And if you stand somewhere different, like, you're totally welcome to have opinion, as long as it's the same as mine. But the president, who we're not talking about, but like the president likes meat this way. And that makes me, he does some good things for the country. Some people like him, some people don't, whatever, don't care. He likes meat this way, and I know other people who like meat this way, and it kind of bugs me. Again, you are welcome to have whatever opinion you want. But
before I get the image, let's talk about how we all like our steak, because it's taking a second.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like the animal still. Like, Tom likes, so I like it still kind of living. It's like Tom really does. Tom's like, you go to a restaurant with Tom, he's like, I want it Pittsburgh style, but I want it more than Pittsburgh style. Like, just drag the animal out here and I will eat from it like a Neanderthal.
I will slit its throat.
Yes, I will kill it right here in front. Here's the picture. Put this up. This is some, pardon my French, some bullshit right here.
It's medium. That's well done.
No, that's not well done. That's like you've killed the animal 5 times.
It also looks like it's been microwaved again.
Microwave.
Yeah.
But people they put it out there and like, what do you think of this, like, this temperature or this way it's cooked? It's like, it makes me sick to my stomach.
There's no amount of A1 sauce that's going to fix that.
No, yeah, exactly.
No.
And honestly, for all the A1 people, I pick on them all the time. It's like, if steak's good, you don't need A1, in my view. That steak, I think, needs some A1. I think that we're at a point where maybe you need some. I'm a medium rare guy. I don't care if you're medium or whatever. I don't even care if you're closer to medium well. I do. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's like a war crime. Like,
No, yeah, that's like if, I'm working at NTSB and I'm on a crash site and I come across seat 5B and that's in 5B with a plane that had no survivors on it. and I'm putting it into like a little biohazard bag and walking off. There's nothing appealing about that whatsoever. And quite frankly, I can't be friends with anybody who finds that, like,
line drawn.
This is the way that I have my food.
Okay.
Oh.
No, Jeff's just a hard no. He's just
Hard no.
Yeah, I look, I don't even on an airline, I've had, we got to fly nice planes with the agency. I've never had a steak on an airline look anywhere nearly that bad. And you don't expect airline steak to be good. That's just, anyways, I had to put it out there. It pisses me off. Okay. I'm going to skip to Miami for time. We're skipping Miami of Ohio. Real quick. On3 put out this list. On3, great publication. They don't get everything right. I'm not sucking up to them. We have our own publications. I'm just saying they are good, and I follow them. You should follow them too. But they put out this list, top 10 college football teams of all time. Now, keep in mind, you could have categorized it and said, if you look at the dates there, like, this is the last 25 years, this is the last whatever. But they listed the top 10 of all time, and I'll go from number 1 on down. Maybe I should go the other way, but it doesn't matter. This is how I'm doing it. Number 1, the 2019 LSU team that was 15-0. Number 2, 2008 Florida, 13-1. Number 3, 2013 FSU team that went 14-0. It's crazy to see all the different records, too, to see how much college football has changed. Miami, the 12-0 Miami team, 2001, great football team. Don't know if that's an appropriate ranking for them. 2015 Alabama 14-1, 2005 Texas team 13-0, 2022 Georgia 15-0, 2018 Clemson 15-0, and then 2014 that team from down south 14-2. So I kind of have some problems with this list.
Big problem.
Like, first and foremost, I will just say I think that Miami look, LSU team was awesome. I'm going to say a couple points, and then you guys just go at it. But not go at it with each other, but either arguing-wise or sexually. I'm just saying I'm just going to make some points.
And we could just not rule anything out.
Yeah, it's Thursday. It's whatever. LSU team obviously is in the top 2 or 3. I don't have a problem with them putting them 1. Most people put them there. I don't have a problem if they're not. That Miami team is really good. I think the 95 Nebraska team, the fact that they're not on the list, let alone in the top 3, shows that whoever made the list is lacking some serious depth in history in college football.
They're young.
Yeah, they're young. And someone said it. Someone said in the comments, they're like, if you were doing the last 25 years, you would have had this team and that team. Someone was like, if you did it the whole time, I think it was 1888 Yale team would be in there. It's like, okay, well, that's maybe extreme. But, like, that 95 Nebraska team, that curb stomp. Sorry, Jeff. Curb stomp.
I was there.
You were there?
Yeah.
62-14, was it?
24. Don't
24.
Take away the 20. I think Tommy Frazier just scored again. By the way.
I mean,
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. One of the most fun teams to watch ever. One of the best athletes ever.
Oh, that wasn't fun.
I mean, and they were not. Nebraska can't keep up with Florida speed. They can't. And that was a great Florida team.
It was. They won the Natty the next year.
They won the Natty the next year, but they can't keep up with them. And then Nebraska's like, hold my beer, and just I mean. That was a curb stomping of all curb stompings in a national championship.
Yeah, but if you go back and watch the last 8, go look at the schedule they played. They were beating people by 50, 60, and 70 all year. They played Colorado was number 7 in the country, beat them by 4 touchdowns. Kansas State beat them by 5 touchdowns. They were rolling everybody, and that wasn't even they were a dominant power. There should be 3 teams on that list, and everybody else is behind them. It's LSU 19, that Nebraska team. The Miami team is the best team of all time. And I don't think it's a conversation. Go look at that roster. Throw a position out there. Their running back room was Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee, Frank Gore. That's your top 3. Then you had Najee Davenport was your 4th string, who was a 4th-round draft pick of the Packers. Then you had Jared Payton as your 5th string, who Walter's kid.
Yeah.
Your secondary was decent with Sean Taylor.
Yeah,
and a guy called Ed Reed.
Yeah.
And Kelly Jennings and Rumpf and Buchanan. Linebackers with Vilma and Morgan and DJ Williams, Vince Wilfork. So you can tell me the LSU team all the time, but Miami didn't have to blitz. They just stayed in that little overfront, little 4-3.
We're playing base.
Just playing base.
Yeah.
They just said, okay, run. Hey, Joe Brady, call us 4 verts all you want.
Yeah.
So we're going to get home with 4, and we're going to lock you down. I don't care. You got Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
Right.
So, anyways, that Miami plus we didn't even talk offense. Andre Johnson,
right.
Jeremy Shockey, McKinney. Their line was amazing. Ken Dorsey was just a guy who he was like driving a Tesla on autopilot. He didn't have to do anything.
He didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, so that's the best team of all time.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Nebraska absolutely has to be up there. But I think your point's really good. And Tom, and then let's get yours. But like, really, those 3 teams, there is no one else on there. And I would love, like, there's Michigan fans who say the 23 team was great. They were 15. Like, yeah, but no, like those teams are great. Like, the rest of the list doesn't really matter. It just doesn't. I mean, I don't know. Did any team ever have any more players drafted than that team?
That team had 11 start. Like, there's 22 people who start in a game, right?
Right.
11 of the starters from Miami were first-round draft picks that year.
First round.
Yeah.
38
38 on that roster were drafted. 17 were first-round picks. They have multiple Vince Wilfork should get in. They got Hall of Famers on that list. That team it's second to none. The Florida team was loaded too. If you look at that roster as well, and you can have arguments there. But man, that Miami team. I remember we played Miami. I was at Florida in 2002 the next year, and I walked out of the tunnel, my little small self, to warm up, and I walked past Andre Johnson. I thought he was a defensive tackle.
Nope, just a receiver.
No, just a receiver.
Yeah.
A Hall of Fame wide receiver. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Tom, what are your comments?
No, I'm in complete agreement with you guys. And I just think that lists like this that are put out are done by somebody who isn't truly a sports fan. They're just somebody who took a job because they wanted to get in sort of the sports lane instead of the media lane. It just comes up with a list like this based on, what friends tell them and what they've heard on other podcasts or other talk radio shows. I don't think whoever compiled this did their research into it. Just, like the way Jeff laid out the case for Miami being number 1.
Yeah. Who is squarely at the number 5 spot on this list.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, just that alone, the amount of guys taken in the first round, that puts,
schools would kill to have that many over
yeah.
their entire history of the program.
Well, go back. They had the original NIL. They had coke and hookers out on boats in the ocean. They literally had boats and hoes. That's what they had back in the day.
Prestige worldwide.
That was their NIL funding.
We were talking, and they were the bad boys, man. They just and to be honest, like they're so good. If they're not your team, they piss you off. Just like the Patriots pissed you off when they were winning. Just like Georgia, whatever team Alabama did when they were on their run. But like it's good for the sport. Like you want a villain like that. Like they were the bad boys. Miami's been the bad boys multiple times, and they brought it back, and it was pretty epic. We talked about this last week. Just real quick, I got to get your take on it. Michael Irvin. I mean, the dude. Is this a good look for Michael Irvin to do what he's doing on the sidelines? Because I think it's a terrible look. I just want to get a sanity check from someone who hasn't been on the show until now.
When did Michael Irvin have this metamorphosis? Because he was a TV guy.
He was actually pretty good.
And all of a sudden, one off season, he said, I'm going to grow my hair out, and I'm going to be on the sideline on all fours barking like a dog. Now, don't get it twisted. Michael Irvin's
a legend.
Legendary. Absolutely. On and off the field. Massive respect for him. The dude's 60-something years old. Looks like he could still probably go out and get 5 for 120 and 2 touchdowns. Right?
Yeah.
Absolute dog. But that being said, does he have any PR people around him? Do they want to come in and say, hey, man, let's tone that back a little bit?
Yeah. Less drugs, keep the belt on. Allegedly. I don't know that he's doing any. But it's certainly, if you're a PR person, you say, well, it looks like you are.
That's what I'm saying. You got anybody in your ear? Anybody that can just kind of...
It's just crazy. It's crazy. Okay.
I think, I'm just real quick with Michael. I feel like he's at that stage of life where he was used to having the camaraderie and, being around the guys. And just there's something about youth that you want to hang on to. Everybody wants to hang on to youth in one form or fashion. But as you get older, you have to take on certain responsibilities as a man to be the one who is now mentoring the younger ones and not being part of what all the chaos that's going on. A long time ago, when I first went from, shooting TV shows to being the guy in charge, the boss who hired me said, you need to be the leader, not the ringleader. And Michael Irvin's at the point where he needs to be the leader, but he's opting to be the ringleader.
Okay, touche. I like that. No, there's a lot of attention that comes with it. I don't like that either. Like, dude, just be behind the scenes and support your program. Love the University of Miami football program. Support it financially, support it emotionally, whatever you're doing. Just do a little. I would just personally suggest you do it a little differently than you're doing it now. But we're all different, right? Okay, we're going to do some memes. Just a reminder, it's a little tricky to do memes now that we've kind of gotten out of all the browbeating political nonsense. If a story comes up, we're still going to talk about it if it's important on the national level. But, it's harder to find stuff. So you guys, I'm challenging you guys in the audience, send some stuff in, and people in this studio and people remoting in. If you see something, send it in. It's like the whole terrorism thing. If you see something, say something. If you see a meme that's funny, send it in, and we'll include it.
I think
it's like COVID. If you see your neighbors grilling out with more than 5 people, turn them in.
Report them. Yeah, we're kidding. Don't do it. That was a crazy time. The whole country changed forever.
I just think it's going to take time for our social media feeds to get off the political, hardcore memes to just everyday memes.
Yes, I'm so
Just gonna
sick.
take
Mine
time.
is like Sydney Sweeney and this, that. Like it's it'll get fixed, I'm sure. Yeah.
The queen of the Downs, Sydney.
Don't worry, Jeff. We'll get you Sydney
Married
Sweeney.
man. I don't know. I'm not up with these.
Mine is still very political, and Jeff, good on you.
Yeah.
Yes, Jeff has never heard of Sydney Sweeney. No man has.
Who's that
in
again?
fact, I think she's I don't know.
The queen of the Downs.
No, that's not. That's not.
Tom's trying to make it a thing,
That's
Drew.
not what it is.
Tom's trying to make a thing.
We love Downs people. I have them in my family.
I know. That's why she's the queen. She's relatable.
Maybe her and John Cena get together. Whatever. That's meme-tastic.
That's meme-tastic. That's meme-tastic. We should do that one more time.
All right, that's Shafi. You haven't met Shafi yet, have you, Jeff?
I've not.
You've
I've
gotta
heard all
meet-
about. I heard the story.
Yeah.
I need to meet that guy.
You got to get him in here. We'll get him in here. The goal is to get him wearing those. What are like the garter belt equivalents for like a butler or a bartender?
Tom should know.
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah,
what? Take it off of a girl's thigh and put it on a butler's arm. What's that called? He probably has like 3 pair.
Yeah.
Dude, we have the costume right there in the studio.
Oh, you're right. We do.
Yeah.
But what is it called?
I just known him as like a sleeve garter.
A sleeve garter. Anyways, the hope is to get. This sounds terrible, but I did help Shafi. He's my guy.
Yeah, they are sleeve garters.
Sleeve garter.
Sleeve garters.
The more you know.
When 2 guys get married, does one take the sleeve garter off?
Oh,
Maybe.
man.
Oh, and he shoots it into the. Oh, okay.
With his teeth?
The goal is to get Shafi to have work the bar and wear sleeve garters. His
There's
brother
anything
works
wrong
the
with
gate
that.
at our community now.
Oh,
He's a great guy too. We'll
way to
get
keep
both of them in here.
stereotypes up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're going to keep things as inappropriate as possible around these parts. First meme, we've got a Florida man meme. This came from Florida, doesn't say it there. Got a real pouty face. Man kills imaginary friend, turns self in, takes world's saddest mugshot. That's just a headline. Okay. That's, yeah, I don't know.
Got another Florida man.
This is the Florida man story right here. Florida man arrested for hanging on traffic lights and shitting on cars passing underneath. That defines the Florida. That and then the chick we talked about earlier this week who was driving through Target arrested, drinking wine, eating sushi and cinnamon rolls in a motorized
Yes,
cart.
at Target.
Jeez,
Yes,
that's
in
when
Orlando.
you take home to mom.
That's when you do. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole combination with sushi and cinnamon rolls, I just can't get behind that.
No, it makes you want to
that
vomit,
flavor
but at the same
profile?
time,
It all goes to the same place.
it does. Yeah, and it comes out the same too.
Apparently, from this guy hanging from the traffic lights.
Yeah, apparently so.
That should be the new Olympic sports.
Yes.
Forget flag football.
Well, here's the thing. You don't like Range Rovers, for example. I have no problem with Range Rovers, but if the goal is to target it right in the center of the hood, that's an interesting game.
You got to take all things into consideration: weather, wind,
Yes.
the viscosity.
Speed, like what they're like.
Yeah.
You're not going to believe this, but I have a good friend of mine who was a former member of Jackass, cast member of Jackass, Rab himself. In one of their episodes, Rab proved that you could sprint and take a dump at the same time.
That show was fantastic.
Love that show.
It was so good.
I tell you what, I've gotten in. I don't know if I said it before in the show, but Johnny Knoxville's hosting Fear Factor now. They brought that back. I'm kind of into it. Is it great? No. Am I suggesting it? Maybe.
But I think he's the right guy to come back with it.
He's interesting. And I'll tell you this. I get eliminated from that show in almost every instance because all the physical stuff I have no problem with doing conceptually. I probably can't do as well as when Jeff and I were running around fields back in the day, or even doing my old job. But all the snake stuff and the eating stuff that they do, it's like, I'm out. I'm not doing this. I'm a grown ass man. I'm not eating elephant brains or elephant testicles or blending them all together. Like, no. But he's doing a good job on that. It is an interesting show. Obviously, so okay, this is a Vikings related one. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah got fired, the GM. There was lots of conversation about JJ this year and his alter ego 9, who when he showed up was really good. When he didn't, not so good. But we got Kwesi in the picture that's going around. Kwesi got fired. He's gone. Bye, bitch. Really not a great draft record there. Although there are some good ones. Dallas Turner, good. There's some great ones. We'll see. What are your quarterback guy? Lay it on me. Like I still think JJ has potential. His Jeff's face tells me he doesn't think he does. I think he has potential. I think he should have sat longer, learned more, and obviously the injuries have hurt him. I'm not. There's a lot of Minnesota Vikings fans who are like, get rid of the kid. He's done. Put him down. Let's euthanize him. It's like, or we could give him a shot. Like, he is a good football player. He can sling it.
I like him.
Okay.
You've heard about him since he was a kid. Like when he's coming out of high school, he was a phenom. I remember watching him at Michigan, and even though Harbaugh was so conservative, you could tell he was an absolute dude.
Yeah.
He won some game. He played. He wasn't killing the league, right? But go back and watch Josh Allen his first or second year.
Right. That's what I keep saying.
I like McCarthy. I think hindsight's 20/20, right? When you're looking at how Darnold did this year, and you're like, well, maybe we should have kept him. But
yeah, you keep Darnold or Jones in the building, I think it's a good thing. But I think his ceiling is still way up here.
I like it. I mean, look at how many. Would you rather have him or Kyler Murray? Would you rather have him or who the Jets have? Right? I think
Justin Fields. Yeah.
Right. I think that I like him.
But do you think he's injury prone though?
Sure. I think they're all.
Well, yeah, but it just feels like he can't get away from an injury right now.
I'm about to rain on this parade. I look at JJ as the next iteration of Todd Marinovich.
Okay.
Yikes.
That's harsh. That seems a little harsh. I think that he has the potential to be. I'm not saying he's going to get fully there. I'm not saying when, but I think he's got Josh Allen and Joe Burrow in him. I think he's a freaking winner. He's never lost anywhere. And at the end of the year, the JJ that showed up at the end of the year when he played, his numbers were outstanding. So I'm a Minnesota homer. I will go down. They've ruined my life. Like it's terrible. Like screw you guys. And also I love you. And I'll see you this season.
Gary Anderson.
That was one of the worst days of my life. I've literally, I don't want to say what I was going to say.
JJ is definitely no Ryan Leaf, that's for sure.
he definitely is not as good a thief as Ryan Leaf, that's for sure.
He's not. Who's kind of seemed like he's maybe pulled it together now.
You think he has? He's like the 13 years sober. I saw him on the Twitter page there. He's got it going on.
Good.
Hey, do you think we could get Art Schleister on the show?
Art Schleister. He's in the sports book out there in Vegas right now.
We'll work on it. We'll put some calls in. Let's get Maureen on that.
Yeah, Russell Erksleben. Oh, I think he may have died. Speaking of square-toed kickers, remember that cat?
Jim Dempsey, right?
Well, yeah,
Dempsey's the only one I can think of.
But Russell Erksleben, I can't remember.
He might have had the shoe. I don't think he had the clubfoot disease.
No, he didn't have
Dempsey
the club foot.
Oh, he just had the square-toed shoe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then went on to play at New Orleans, and then after New Orleans, got into like some shady business dealings and ended up going to prison for embezzling.
Allegedly.
Sounds like a good film. I mean, that's give the guy a chance. I can't read this next one. When bad timing and terrible spelling gave us this gem. Is it the news Chiron that I'm supposed to read?
Yeah, here.
Can you zoom in?
I'll put it up on the.
I'm way over halfway dead.
Can you read it there?
Okay. Breaking news. Due to a decrease in cookie sales, the Girl Scouts switched to a more aggressive.
They got to learn how to spell.
Spelled wrong.
Yeah.
Aggressive sales campaign, and then we've got those like I can't tell. Is it Marines? It's just
they're breaching.
This is never not going to be hilarious. I don't get it.
When bad timing and terrible spelling gave us this gem, they're showing the image with the mistiming of the Chiron.
They're finishing the old story, but other. We're coming in, bitches. Okay. Now, I mean, here's the thing. I'll just say that I don't want to. Tom, you rained on my parade with J.J. McCarthy. I'll rain on your parade, America. You want to eat Girl Scout cookies? They taste delicious. They're full of toxic metals. That's what the new report suggests. I'm just sharing the message. Look it up. Google it.
Jeff, this one's for you. It's the landline one.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when you could strangle people with your phones? Those were the days.
Those were the days. Yeah, you could. And you did. Multiple
times. Who are you calling? You can't call for help.
There's just a.
This is I don't even know, Dave. Just help me. And there's a dog stuck on top of the.
Give that dog some credit. You still have still 2 dogs?
Yeah.
Sam?
Fenway and Wrigley.
Yeah.
Keeping it, they're holding it down.
I love them. Grape soda doesn't taste at all like grapes, but it does taste like purple, and I don't know how to explain that.
It's the truest statement.
That is actually interesting. I would love, and this sounds right, I would love Courtney's take on that. We'll get it next week. Earlier this week, Puka took a shot. We talked about it on the show Tuesday.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney was like, here's what I'm looking for in a man, and everyone in America was like taking wives are like, why are you taking notes online? No reason. But she was like, I like skydiving. That's one of the things. Puka takes a shot. Was like, I love skydiving, and responded to the post. There he is, taking his shot. Sydney's sitting on top of the world. Puka also sitting on top of the world, doing well. He's on the moon there. But again, I think great. Look, Puka, you're single. Apparently she's single. Take a shot. Like, we're happily married, but you go get Sydney Sweeney, bro. Go do it.
And for the record, the Earth isn't shaped that way.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Welcome, Jeff.
This is Tom Cunningham, who, by the way, Accidental Education, his new podcast comes out tomorrow. You'll have to check it out, guys. You'll get lots of that stuff. I don't know. I mean, Tom's gonna talk about what Tom's gonna talk about. There's a new movie coming out, The Odyssey, and Helen of Troy is now an African American in the film. Some creative liberties taken there, and we've got a Captain Phillips style meme. Look at me, I am the Helen of Troy now. That's pretty well done, pretty well done.
Yeah.
And this is actually true. I saw this. We've got a picture of Charlie Sheen, who's lived a very interesting life.
Yeah.
Not in the Epstein files, and someone comments, who's not in the Epstein files? Surprisingly, this guy.
He kept it clean.
Yeah, he did. Ricky Vaughn, not in there. Ricky Vaughn, Charlie Sheen, any of his alter egos.
Dick Cheney, not in there?
Is he? I don't know. Is he in
No,
there?
he's not in there.
Dick Cheney was off shooting people with shotguns.
Yeah, I know. So, somebody posted a tweet that I absolutely loved, and it said, "Notice Dick Cheney isn't in the Epstein files. He just did it for the love of the game."
This is not really funny.
I was trying to figure. Was this one yours?
I don't remember, but it was in a folder that my dad. This is like a tweet.
And then
text,
an image from
my dad seriously sent this to our family group chat. I'm crying. It's not that funny, but this is true. I can't keep up with the pressure, he texted, of always having to LOL or like or heart everyone's random thoughts, pics, and amusements for all future texts. I love them, laugh at them, or like them. Unless it's bad, then I dislike them in perpetuity. I can't live with this pressure. I'm out. I'm not a big fan of the group text. We've got a great one. That usually has some hilarity to it. But it ebbs and flows. Like, it comes and goes, and it's mostly appropriate at the time, the content necessarily, but like when the conversation is, I hate having to just pretend to respond like, that's great, Doug. Great tweet, you idiot. I love you, but like, stop. I kind of resonate with this dad.
But don't you need a little bit of love when you're the one who sends the tweet? You at least want to see one thumbs up or one heart.
You
right?
do, 100%.
If you get nothing, that's rough. That means that your sense of humor is not appreciated.
Fair. But also, I don't know that I would. Maybe I did in our case. I don't know that I would start. Like, I'm not a group text starter.
Yeah.
Like, some people are like, let's start a group text. Totally fine if that's what works for you. Absolutely. Some people love Zoom calls. I hate Zoom. If you suggest we do a Zoom call, I'm going to call child services on you and say that you're abusing your children.
If you're laying in bed on the Zoom call, you gotta turn off your camera, or I can't be on it.
Well, don't Jeffrey Toobin it, that's for sure.
Now, I know there is one exception because it has happened in our group text that you have with Tom and I, Drew and the Cunninghams. And there's times where it'll be later at night and he'll send something, and if none of us replies, he'll be like, or whatever, bitches.
Yeah.
You'll just be like, you get mad that we haven't. It's like, well, we were all asleep.
Yeah, no, if I say it, I want a response. Like Jeff saying, it goes both ways. It cuts both ways. Let's skip this one for time. I can't see that either.
I think this you'd like this one.
I better. Satan, hey, you sold me your soul last week, and ... Me, no returns. Satan, yeah, it's just that it's a lot more twisted than I thought. Me, no returns. Okay, some people are that way. That's fair.
Bob Dylan. Not me. He said I didn't say it. Bob Dylan said it during a 60 Minutes interview with Ed Bradley. So that's totally not me. That's Bob Dylan.
That's what Bob Dylan said. Okay, I'll skip this one. I can't see this one. Well, this isn't funny either, but it's sports related.
Wait until Elon Musk.
Yeah, if you think Mr. Beast funding East Carolina football is crazy, wait until Elon discovers Elon football. He's also not only funding it in this scenario,
He's coaching
he's
it.
coaching as well. He's
Oh,
got
yeah.
the headset on.
Elon. Yes. Money.
No, he's going to call
What are
it
they,
X.
the Phoenix? No,
Some sort of bird.
it's like a bird.
Yeah.
Okay. Another Babylon Bee headline: after winter's jog, man decides obesity not so bad. Yeah, I resonate with that. Like, I'm getting out there and doing stuff. Nope, I'm not. Okay. Any other good ones? Sports? No. Oh yeah, let's finish on this one. This
That's
is
a great one.
This is a great one right here. So obviously Deshaun Watson loves his ladies and massage tables, and James Harden now going to Cleveland. So this person shows a picture of the Diamond Club. Welcome to Cleveland, James Harden. Someone comments, James Harden and Deshaun Watson in the same city, generations about to go to college. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's what's going to happen in Cleveland. It's been fun having Jeff here. We're glad to have Jeff on board. We'll have him here as much as he wants. Hopefully he wants to come back. There's a chance that he never will come back. But we're glad to have him. Courtney's going to be joining us. There's some other characters we're going to be working in as well. Thank you guys so much for spending time. Hit that like button if you have not already. Make sure you're following the channel. We'll get some clips from this out, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl. I won't, because I'll be at a cheer competition, because some people don't know how to plan or organize their lives. Be safe, be smart, be free.
We got ball and banter.